Welcome to St. Louis Cardinals baseball from Toronto, Canada. A perfect Saturday afternoon from the Rogers Center. The Redbirds hoping to even the series with a victory here this afternoon behind Shelby Miller. In Game 1, it was the Blue Jays showing their power. 2 home runs off of Lance Lynn. This one, Jose Bautista, a towering shot to left. And then it was Brent Lawrie, who took Lynn to straightaway center field. That proved to be the game winner for the Blue Jays. Glad you're with us. Rick Horton along with Al Roboski, and this Blue Jays team has been known as a powerful team. We saw some of that here last night, Al.
Yeah, they're also known as a very good ball club, won 6 in a row. They lead the major leagues in home runs, and they were on display last night.
They also have some good pitching, and they're going to have their best going today. He's from St. Charles, Missouri. Burley, 10-1. Cardinals, Jays, coming up next. Sports Midwest. brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. It's Chevy Truck Month. Visit your Mid-America Chevy dealers to take advantage of Truck Month offers on the all-new Chevy Silverado. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Shelby Miller making the start here this afternoon. Young talent versus the old veteran here today. Miller has lost 3 straight for the Cardinals, but has certainly improved his last 2 games, and he'll be facing one of the game's best here this afternoon. Today's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome. Crowd filing in here at Rogers Center. Beautiful afternoon for baseball in Canada. And here's a look at the Cardinals batting order here this afternoon. Matt Carpenter will be in that familiar leadoff spot. He'll play third base, followed by Randall Grichuk will be in left field. Matt Holliday, Alan Craig, Johnny Peralta in the middle. He has the most experience against Burley, followed by Oscar Taveras, Mark Ellis, Peter Borges, and Tony Cruz, who's behind the plate for the second straight day against the left-hander from St. Charles, Missouri, Mark Burley.
And what a season he's had. He's been a tremendous pitcher, 196 wins, but his quickest start.
Burley does not throw as hard as he used to, but he doesn't really care because he throws it where he wants to. A pitch fouled back. He is kind of his own kind of guy, isn't he, Al, in terms of preparation and how he goes about his business, but he has been so consistent in his career.
And as you said, he doesn't throw hard anymore. It'll really be about 84 miles an hour. It's 86. That'll probably be the tops we'll see today, but he knows how to pitch, and really his fastball is below the comfort zone of major league hitters.
Popped up right side. Adam Lind is the first baseman, and he shades his eyes from the sun and makes the play. Toronto, very good team defensively. Speed in the outfield, good arms. Here's our Dobbs Blue Jays defense. Cabrera, Gose, and Batista in the outfield from left to right. All good arms, as we mentioned. Mark Burley and Navarro, the battery here today. And we really liked what we saw from Brett Laurie, the second baseman. He and Reyes up the middle. He had quite a nice game both offensively and defensively here yesterday.
But Laurie did put on a clinic playing short right field, the second baseman. And they say that you really don't appreciate his defense till you see him at third.
Randall Grichuk hit left-handers very well in AAA. Minor league player of the month of May. Getting a start here at the big league level. Reyes backs up a bit, but he throws out Grichuk. So 2 quick outs, and that's Mark Burley for you. He is Major League Baseball's fastest pitcher in terms of pace. He just gets it and goes.
Quickest between pitches at 16.8. It actually seemed like it's quite high when you think about it. And you can see he's always ready, waiting for hitters.
Fly ball to shallow center. Who wants it? In comes Gose on the run, makes the play. Didn't take long. 1-2-3 inning for Mark Burley. Miller to work. that time frame, followed by Francisco, Navarro, and Gose against the young Cardinal right-hander Shelby Miller. A lot of talent in this young man, Shelby Miller. He's our key starter here today. Al, let's look at his numbers.
Well, really streaky. You know, he started out the season with a 2-game losing streak. He followed that up with a 6-game winning streak, and now he's on a 3-game skid once again.
His first pitch to Reyes is right down central for a strike at 92. Reyes had a big night here last night. 3 hits and 2 walks, on base all 5 times, stole a base. Your classic leadoff hitter.
Yeah, no Blue Jay has ever faced Shelby Miller, so that advantage in my mind goes to the pitcher. He knows what he wants to do, and he knows what his stuff.
Popped up right side and having trouble with the sun, but making the play is the Cardinals second baseman Mark Ellis. And we'll take a look at the rest of the Cardinals defense along with Ellis. Brought to you by Dobbs. Borges getting the start in center. He'll be flanked by Taveras and Grichuk. Peralta and Ellis up the middle. Matt Carpenter and Alan Craig again at the corners. And as we mentioned, Tony Cruz behind the plate again here today, giving Yadi some extended rest. And as we've watched Yadi play lately, it seems like he's needed a little extra time off. So important to this club. Hard to find the right time to give him rest, but Mike Matheny choosing this series.
I misspoke a minute ago. I said Shelby had not faced any of the Blue Jays, but he did R.A. Dickey when he was with the Mets, and Juan Francisco, he has 4 bats and 4 strikeouts. He was playing with either Atlanta or Milwaukee.
And in the lineup here today, Miller looked so good, Al, in his last start through 6. Just 2 hits.
You could say that about everyone through the through the rotation. They all started out good games, but then they had 1 inning that did them in.
And that big inning can happen in a hurry when you're pitching against the Toronto Blue Jays. Very, very good lineup, including the man at the plate, Melky Cabrera. His average over 300. Mentioned yesterday, one of 5 Blue Jays with 10 or more home runs. Changeup misses.
You can already tell quite the contrast between Burley and Miller as to how much time between pitches.
The 3-2 swing and a miss. He strikes out Cabrera. So a good start for Shelby.
Shelby does have the ability to shut down a good offense. Gets a chase and a pitcher bottom of the strike zone.
Here's our umpires here this afternoon. Fielden Culbreth is the crew chief. He'll be behind the plate. Manny Gonzalez, Jim Reynolds, and Seth Buckminster round out the crew. Jose Bautista. What a talented player he is. He was right in the middle of just about everything yesterday. He threw out a runner at the plate, was involved in a play down the right field line that ended up being reviewed and overturned with fan interference, hit into a triple play, and hit a home run.
And hit his 15th home run that got them on the scoreboard and tied the game at 1-1.
To center field, back goes Borges to the track, makes the play right up against the center field wall. Bautista gave it a ride, nothing but a long out. No score through 1. II. Rick Horton, Al Raboski, and Jim Hayes with us here this afternoon. We've already mentioned Jim Yachty not in the lineup today. I know you have more on Yachty.
Yeah, it's been a struggle for Yachty of late, no question about it. He's 3 for 29 over his last 8. He's left 15 guys on base, been robbed of a few hits by some good defense. So Mike Matheny saying he's given Yachty a mental day. Says Yachty takes losses so personally that it wears on him. He suggested that Yachty not even take BP today, but Yachty did anyway. Mike just thinks Yachty needed a break. Matheny stressing Yachty has no physical issues, guys, a mental day.
We noticed Jim Yachty taking some ground balls. The Cardinals actually took a little extra infield today because of the AstroTurf, as they did yesterday. I know Yachty was out there just trying to have fun, and that, I guess, is what Mike Matheny's looking for.
Remember yesterday, the Cardinals, first time they're playing on turf, make 2 errors. And that was the first time they had an error in 11 road games.
You guys have seen Yachty too. He's been more demonstrative when someone makes a good play on a ground ball or when he doesn't come through with runners in scoring position. Mike used the term that Yachty's been wearing it, and I think we've seen some of that.
Good pitch on the inside corner, and Craig is caught looking.
Alan Craig backing away from this pitch. They set up inside, and that's where he hits his target. Questionable, and it went in Burley's favor. These umpires, he'll get a lot of borderline pitches because these umpires love how quick he works, and they're always thinking about he throws strikes.
Missing low to Johnny Peralta. Johnny 1 for his last 13, hits that ball hard and foul. It's another thing that happens against a guy that's tricky, Al. You hit a lot of balls hard that are foul.
Yes, and you just can't pull. You know, you're going to be pulling the ball. You can't wait. He really throws below the comfort zone of a major league hitter. And then he has the good off-speed pitches. He's one of the best and fewest walks allowed.
Fastballs we've mentioned is right around 84, 85. He'll throw a sinker, cutter, curveball, and a changeup. There's the speed range for Burley. And another foul ball.
Another thing about Burley, this is 442nd consecutive start with never going on the disabled list.
Pretty amazing.
Well, we talked about how our Toyota's keys to the game. We talked about how fast that Burley works. So you hit at your pace. Don't let him set and dictate the pace. It's also, he's tremendous at stopping the running game. Second most pickoffs in the active pitcher. And we even know that Navarro has only thrown out 3 out of 29 runners this year. But Burley's so good that if you get that lead, he'll pick you off.
Backs Taveras off the plate. Oscar just 2 for 13 on this road trip. As we mentioned yesterday, he still has a lot of good at-bats. Hits left-handers well.
Few strikeouts. You know, so he's really has a pretty good idea of the strike zone. He doesn't expand it often. Usually making contact, and it'll get better.
Check swing. Noticed, Al, that Randall Grichuk was hitting left-handers at 451, and Taveras, as we've mentioned, 344. But, you know, there's no Mark Burley in the Pacific Coast League. The left-hander is not quite as good as this one. A rare walk gives the Cardinals the first base runner of the game. And brings in Mark Ellis. Ellis has seen a lot of Mark Burley, but the number's not very good. Just 9 for 51. An average of 176 in his career against Burley.
Cardinals lineup today, there's only one hitter, Matt Carpenter, hitting over 270. Cardinal offense really hasn't got on track this year. Remember, a year ago they led the National League in runs scored, so many important categories.
It's almost amazing, Al, to hear you say that. Just one player over 270. But when you look at this Cardinal team and when you have the regular starters in there and you say, well, which guy do you really want to sit or get rid of or change? It's kind of hard to answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, Mike Matheny makes the decision on Yadi or Molina, and I think every one of us agree with everything that Mike said about Yadi. But he's still so valuable offensively and defensively. It's hard to give him a mental day.
There's that pickoff move you're talking about. Taveras looking a little uncomfortable with it. Decent lead. One and two, the count to Mark Ellis. When a guy like Burley throws a pitch that high, you almost assume he's setting somebody up. Trying to change the eye level, maybe. Go with the changeup, which he uses a lot, down and away.
This a walk and a full count here. A little bit off his mark so far.
This would be an upset. 2 walks in the same inning for Burley. The 3-2. Ground ball left side, base hit. Taveras was very cautious because of the move of Mark Burley. He didn't really get much of a jump off of first. Not sure he could have made it to third anyway, but Cardinals get their first hit.
Veteran Mark Ellis see the curveball. Pitch that got away a couple pitches ago. And here's the base hit. Another pitch that was up.
Cardinals their first chance with runners in scoring position today. Both teams really struggled with runners in scoring position in game 1. But the Blue Jays won that one 3-1. A couple of home runs and a run in the 8th inning. And we got to see a triple play, Al.
You said it was your first.
I've never
find
seen
that hard to believe. You didn't see the last one Cardinals turned back in 05?
Did not. Missed that one. Heard about it.
Remember one in St. Louis, I think Ken Daly was the pitcher. Line drive to Pendleton, I think over at third, started it.
Swing and a miss. Borges strikes out. Cardinals strand 2. Second strikeout for Mark Burley. All-Star bound. Maybe Giancarlo Stanton for the Miami Marlins. He's off to a very good start. Very good power. Cardinals saw him quite a bit, Al, in spring training. All-Star game will be on Fox, and maybe we'll get to see this young talent on display.
I'm sure we will. He leads the National League in home runs and RBIs. 17 home runs, 53 RBIs, and a 300 batting average. Sounds like an all-star to me.
I would say so. Home run to power to all fields. Outstanding athlete.
It'll be July 15th right here on Fox, right? Big Fox.
Edwin Encarnacion leading it off for the Blue Jays. He also may be one of those players that are all-star bound, has certainly the numbers for it, and we'll be looking at players throughout the next couple of weeks who may be a part of the Midsummer Classic. Popped him up. Ellis really battling the sun here.
It just looks like it's cloudless sky with a high sun, and they all got the sunglasses, using their gloves to an advantage to kind of block the sun rays.
Looks like he's playing the ball off to the side to maybe try to catch it where he's not looking straight into the sun.
And you know how they can look into the webbing, different webbing from infielder to outfielder. And that's showing you right there, just kind of testing it. Retractable dome here, but weather just absolutely fantastic.
We understand the roof was covered for most of the early part of the season. Wasn't until a couple of weeks ago they started opening it up. I really like this venue. You think back at Exhibition Stadium, we talked about that some yesterday, Al, and not exactly a baseball ballpark there. Did not have the same kind of feel and energy here. When this stadium came on the scene in 1989, it was, I mean, state of the art. Unique hotel in center field. The AstroTurf, but one of just two fields left. There's the hotel, still in operation. There's two AstroTurf infields left in baseball now. And this field will change in 2000, either 17 or 18. They're not 100% sure when that will be, but when the Argonauts leave here to go to a new place.
I would think it would be challenging to try and keep the grass growing in the wintertime. And
we have people studying it right now. What kind of grass and how to take care of it. Ellis playing a deep second base, gets the second out. It's now time for you to tweet your photo using STL Fan Photo, and you'll have a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Nice crowd on hand here today. The Jays drew over 4 million people here at this ballpark. 3 straight seasons, 91, 92, and 93.
Got the impression that Ellis is a fan of Valori and how he plays defense at second base. Wasn't unusual for infielders to be back on what we call the edge of the grass,
right,
on turf fields. But Laurie's taking it to another extreme, and Mark Ellis just followed him that last time. Played the ball well, playing short center field, short right field.
Doing it against the left-handed hitting Lind. You always have to gauge the speed of the hitter, a lot of other things to determine where you play defensively.
Well, one of the reasons that Laurie can do it is because he's really a natural third baseman. He's got that much stronger of an arm, quick feet, so he can play very deep and still come in and react to a ball in the infield.
And he hit his 11th yesterday. This ball driven to right, but handled by Oscar Taveras. 6 up, 6 down for Shelby Miller. On to the third. You can look as sharp as Cardinals general manager John Mozeliak on Mo Tie Monday. That's Monday, June 16th. The Cardinals will be hosting the New York Mets. These special themed tickets are on sale now, and they include a special limited edition Cardinals bow tie. Get your Mo Tie theme tickets only at cardinals.com/theme. 9-1-2 for the Cardinals here, top of the third inning against Mark Burley, who has allowed one Cardinal hit, walked a batter, and has 2 strikeouts through 2. Burley, most wins in the American League with 10. Second in earned run average at 2.10. And he's been even better in day games. Another bad number for the Cardinals to look up at, 0.93 ERA in day games. The 2-0.
Who's following our Toyota keys to the game, where Burley's ready to pitch the minute he gets the ball back, where the hitters take their time a little bit, see him calling time, work at your pace.
I did not know that Tony Cruz checked out the Al Raboski Toyota keys to the game, but now I know.
He's got it written on his wrist.
So he's checking it between pitches.
Yeah, you know.
That's smart. 3-1 to Tony Cruz.
Had trouble in school doing that one time, Rick.
Writing things on your wrist?
Well, yeah, and, you know, and teacher called me up along with the smartest person in the class. Wasn't you, Rick?
Ball 4. I can't believe that story.
They told me to check what the answer I put down for 13. Smartest person in class put down, I don't know. And I put me neither.
Smart. Always trying to get an edge, that Al Raboski. Second walk of the afternoon for Burley.
Until you're caught.
So I've heard. Cruz the runner at first. Carpenter tries to lay down a bunt, and that one will go foul. And I'm not sure whether that was for a hit or a half sacrifice.
You might remember that you're playing on turf, and that ball will get quicker to the infielder, so not careful, it can turn double play.
Really have to deaden it, don't you?
Yes.
Make sure it gets some of that dirt. Strike 2 to Carpenter. Call third strike on the outside corner, and Matt Carpenter doesn't like it. But it's strikeout number 3 for Mark Burley. Full day of baseball, full day of MLB action today. The Indians are taking on the Rangers at 2 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. And it's baseball night in America as Fox and the Yankees square off against the Royals. MLB doubleheader on Fox Sports 1 and Fox. Randall Grichuk bounced out his first plate appearance. Cardinals looking for some kind of offense, some kind of consistency. You wonder, Al, is it not enough base runners and not enough hits, or is it not enough hits and base runners bunched together, not enough power, or is it all three?
It's everything. The one thing we know, the Cardinals don't hit many home runs. They're 29th in baseball.
And that's not going to be number 30 unless it carries quite a bit. Reyes has it. Out number 2.
And then the Cardinals hit a lot of singles. So if you don't, and they're not taking a lot of walks, they have received 2 here today, but you know, it's taken four hits, combination of hits and walks to, you know, to get a run in.
Matt Holliday, 3 home runs on the 7th of June. We've seen Matt get home runs in bunches. He's certainly capable of doing that. Wouldn't bet against him having his normal numbers by the time the year ends, but he's down pretty much across the board right now at 268. Good swing there at Burley.
That is a lifetime .311 hitter, and last year he hit 300 again after a slow start, so I wouldn't bet against him.
He got hit here in the left tricep area. It's actually the 7th time he's been hit by a pitch. You mentioned that yesterday. And he's wearing a pad now. And I don't blame him. Two and one. Maybe a go pitch here. Burley. Strike 2.
83 miles an hour, but because of his assortment, location, it's kind of a hanging pitch. You know, he really hasn't had his good stuff here today. That you just can't take advantage of.
Call, 3rd strike, inside corner. Holliday doesn't like it. Mark Burley is on his game here this afternoon. 4 strikeouts, including Holliday. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by AT&T, mobilizing your world. By Schnucks, your neighborhood hometown grocer for 75 years. Find a helpful servicing steel dealer near you. Visit steeldealers.com. Kids having fun here in Toronto. Beautiful city here. Plenty to see, plenty to do. You can swim or you can catch a ball game on a nice Saturday afternoon. Shelby Miller and Mark Burley in a pitcher's duel so far. Shelby off to a good start. He'll face the bottom of the order in Francisco Navarro and goes. Big swing by Francisco comes up empty. One of 6 left-handed batters in the lineup against Shelby. 3 of them switch hitters, Reyes, Cabrera, and Navarro. Francisco, former Brave, former Brewer. is 0-2.
He's faced Shelby Miller 4 times, and Shelby struck him out every time. See if that trend continues. Shelby has 1 strikeout on the day as he's retired the first 6 batters he's faced.
The 0-2. Fouled at the plate. You mentioned, Al, that Shelby's lost his last 3 starts. His command has improved in those 3 games, oddly enough.
He leads the ball club in home runs allowed and walks.
33 walks that he has in total, 3rd in the National League.
And that has gotten better in that department.
Yeah, just 2 per game in his last 3 starts. Swing and a miss. Francisco now has struck out 5 times against Shelby. We mentioned the walks down for Shelby Miller in the last 3 starts, but his ERA, Al, has been up.
I'll take the walks if I. Even though with the walks, you saw his ERA was 2.79, and then the last 3 with the walks being down, almost 8.
Strike 1. Looks like we have a wide plate here today, both in and out, and that's a strike called to Navarro. The Cardinals have complained about a couple of pitches. 3 Redbirds have been caught looking: Craig, Holiday, and Carpenter. It's not that wide. Navarro had an important base hit in the 8th inning here yesterday that kept the Cardinals and Jason Mott scrambling. Led to their 3rd run, gave them their insurance run they needed. 3-1 Toronto. Late swing, 2-2.
Navarro started a family foundation back in 2009. And the main beneficiary is the St. Joseph's Hospital in Tampa, Florida. 2003, his wife suffered a brain aneurysm and was given a slim chance to live, but she recovered fully at St. Joseph's, so they're trying to reward doctors and nurses at that institution.
High fly ball to right. Who wants it? Center fielder Borges calls off Taveras for out number 2. 8 straight for Shelby. You need a gift for Dad? Oh, of course you do. The MLB.com @bat app and a subscription to its premium features on his favorite smartphone or tablet are perfect for Father's Day. Dad will have access to features such as live look-ins, instant replay, live audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and more. For more details, visit MLB.com. Father's Day right around the corner.
Yeah, and I guess we could make a pretty strong recommendation about that app because we both have it on our iPads right now.
We certainly do. It's terrific. A lot of information. Feel like you're there. A lot to see, a lot to do. A little bloop over the head of Peralta, and he makes the play. Dose is jammed. Miller's been good. Cardinals need offense. Mark Burley getting ready for the Cardinals. Top of the 4th inning, no score. While he gets ready, Al Roboski is going to educate us.
Oh, really? There's the tower right here, and you can see 1,815 feet high, almost 3 times the height of the Gateway Arch in St. Louis. Statue of Liberty is 305 feet tall. But boy, that tower really defines this downtown landscape.
One of the 7 modern civil engineering wonders of the world. And no, I don't know the other 6.
I was waiting for the other 6, Rick.
Golden Gate Bridge, Empire State Building are 2 of them.
Center of the world?
Yes.
Got to be one of those buildings in Dubai.
I'm not going to give you all the answers, Al. Let's just say it's a fun structure to look at, too. It is extraordinary.
Beautiful at nighttime where it's lit up.
Yeah, right outside the ballpark here. Peralta flew out to center field, his first plate appearance. Again, we're watching Burley. He's on the rubber, ready to go, whether the hitter's ready or not.
Just a master at changing speeds. But not only that, he's throwing a lot more fastballs too, but he has the ability to really spot that pitch and get in on right-handed batters.
35-year-old Mark Burley, 196 career wins.
He's never been on the disabled list. And like I said, this is his 442nd start without going on the DL.
It's amazing. That ball is fair inside the bag. This could be and should be 2. Peralta rounds first and headed to second. Close play there, but a double for Peralta, who's had quite a few of those this season, and a runner in scoring position for the Cardinals here in the 4th inning.
Strong throw by Batista.
Sure was.
Got that ball off the carom of the wall. A little cutter and just inside the first base bag, goes into foul territory, and Batista got over there quickly. See the spin. If he wasn't hustling, he would have been thrown out at second.
Oscar Taveras walked. Strike 1 on him. Burley had 11 strikeouts in his debut this year. I guess that should have been an indication that he was going to be right. Did that against Tampa Bay on the 2nd of April. And went 8 2/3 in his first outing of the season. There's a breaking pitch. Where was that? Burley, a World Series ring to his credit. Mentioned this is his 14th year of pitching in the big leagues, has a no-hitter and a perfect game.
He's never won 20 games. Came close back in 2002 where he won 19. In that World Championship year of 2005 for Chicago, he was 16-8.
Behind on Taveras. Now even. That pitch at 85.
He's been in double figures in the win total every year.
"14 straight years of 10 or more wins." How about that?
Yeah.
That's consistent, and as you mentioned, not being hurt is part of that. Opportunity for the Cardinals here in the 4th. No score. And he walks Taveras again.
3 walks.
There's the accomplishments we were talking about with Burley. The World Series win 2005. The no-hitter came in 07. The perfect came in 09. And he's also a 4-time Gold Glove winner. and a 4-time All-Star.
Yeah, another All-Star appearance for him.
This is low to Mark Ellis, and surprisingly throwing a lot of pitches here.
Right. Well, he's walked 3. Just allowed 2 hits, but the 3 walks are very surprising. He came in with just 20 walks total and 81 plus innings.
The 1-0 strike on the inside corner.
Leads the major leagues in wins with his 10.
Towards the stands, Lynn giving chase, and he makes the play. Pretty nice play over his shoulder. He was running out of room there.
You mentioned they're pretty good defensively, and this really helps out. This is a lot tougher play than what he made it look. And then had the presence of mind to know that runner at second, stop him. Peralta was ready to tag up and try to advance, but when he spun so quickly, it stopped him.
Configuration of the stadium here out looks like there's a fair amount of room in front of the dugouts and behind home plate compared to most stadiums
compared
now.
to the stadiums today. They're taking away so much foul territory.
Balls that appear to be headed towards the stands aren't, and that's a pretty big space right there. You think of old Dodger Stadium as being maybe one of the best places to pitch in that respect, but Oakland would be another.
And think about the age of those stadiums.
Right.
Now this one's 25 years old. Most of the cookie cutters have been torn down now, and so the modern stadiums, they've eliminated foul territory and at the expense of pitchers.
Behind Peter Borges. Burley, by the way, making just his second career start against the Cardinals. First one came in 2006. He picked up a win. So Taguchi and Jim Edmonds hit home runs off of him that day.
Like I say, you can win if you give up solo home runs.
3-0.
Lance Lynn just needed some of that run support that he normally gets, or he could have had a victory last night.
Up the middle, it hits Burley. Bounces back to the catcher Navarro, who can't throw out the speedy Borges. That ball hit him fairly solidly there on a 3-0 pitch. A base hit for Borges, and had that gotten past Burley, it would have been 1-0 Cardinals.
Well, he mentioned 4 Gold Gloves, and you know, when you throw like he does, you're going to get yourself in good position to field. But this ball was hit so hard, it goes off his, I believe, his left leg.
You're almost surprised too that he's swinging 3-0 if you're Mark Burley.
You know, I think in today's baseball, the take sign is something that rarely is given. But managers just ask guys to be disciplined. And, you know, Burley wasn't going to walk somebody else, so he was looking for a pitch, and you got to say he hit it hard.
That loads the bases for Tony Cruz. The Cardinals again station to station here. So they're going to need another hit. They've got 3 base runners in the inning, but no runs.
And that's what we're talking about. You know, a lot of times where they're only hitting singles and walks, it takes 4 of them, put them together for a run. Tony Cruz last season did bat .357 with runners in scoring position. Hopefully he'll come through here.
I guess it's a different story if the Peralta double is the 3rd Cardinal to reach base in the inning. Then maybe it is 2-0. When the double comes first,
yeah,
still no score. 1-1 on Cruz.
Got Cutter working on coming in on these right-handed batters. Change up, breaking ball. Good rip there on the fastball.
Very lively crowd here last night. And you can say the same here today. They love their Blue Jays. What's not to love? 38-24, first place in the East. Ground ball left side. Francisco has it and barely forces Borges at second. No score in Toronto. The Blue Jays and the Cardinals. Game 2 of a 3-game series. Reyes will lead off for Toronto in the bottom of the 4th inning. And we have Michael Milken with us here in the bottom of the 4th. Michael, good to have you with us.
Fantastic to be with you.
And we have a good ball game going here, but we want to get into something that's really been on your heart for a number of years, and that's the Prostate Foundation and the work that's being done with the Home Run Challenge. And we're going to do that again this year.
Well, this is our 18th year on the road, and we've raised $45 million from home runs that have been hit. And then over the years, we've got matches of 20-1, so $900 million. And so the idea of keeping dad in the game, come out to the ballpark and watch your team. And there might be some that think they're as good, but there's no better city with baseball fans in America than St. Louis.
Well, we, of course, believe that about our local 9, and we're glad that you're with us here for this half inning. But as we think about the Home Run Challenge, we know that fans are really going to get involved in that. Shelby Miller back to work here in the 4th inning, facing Jose Reyes. And it's ball 1. But as we think about the week around Father's Day, leading up to Father's Day, fans have the opportunity to pledge and participate and donate. You mentioned the dollars that have been raised over the years. Tell us how fans can do that. Fly ball to right. Taveras has it.
You can go to homerunchallenge.org, and every home run hit in Major League Baseball between June 9th and Father's Day, a week from tomorrow, Sunday, you can pledge for home runs hit. So if you pledged $1 and there was 100 home runs, you would have pledged $100. 100% goes to prostate cancer research, and a large percentage of that has gone right back into the St. Louis area with the amazing medical research programs that exist there at WashU and other locations.
Well, that's good to know, and it's also good to hear that the research is producing results too. And I know it's a tough enemy that we're talking about here, and I know you personally have a heart for this and some background in it, but it seems like the progress is happening.
Well, I was diagnosed in '93, and it spread through my body, and I'm the happiest guy to be in the ballpark with you today. But I'm not alone. 1 in 6 men will get diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 2 men will get diagnosed with some form of cancer. And the most exciting news is since we started this program, the death rate has dropped by more than 50% from projected levels. And so today, if you're diagnosed with prostate cancer, there's 6 new drugs. Even in an advanced state like myself, you can live a normal, healthy life. But great reason we're here today is for awareness to tell you go get checked for prostate cancer.
Absolutely, and that is any man knows at over 40 now is what they're saying.
I think so. I was diagnosed at 45,
yeah.
And it's such a simple blood test,
right.
No different than getting your cholesterol checked. You wish in any life-threatening disease that you had an early warning system. And so the 2 factors that have really dropped this is the tremendous awareness from Major League Baseball and the Cardinals over the years to get men to get checked, get that simple blood test. And second, the advancement in research, which for people that have had more advanced cancer has served to be, in many cases, put it totally in remission. And I'd say 25% of the people that used to pass away, this group of 6 drugs, some with hardly any side effects, has been the solution.
Well, that's kind of the way it should be, the way this research is coming along and helping, and that fans are participating in this, and we're raising awareness in our country about prostate cancer. We're visiting with Michael Milken, who is really a public health advocate and really has a heart for the Prostate Cancer Foundation and their work with the Home Run Challenge, and as he mentioned has raised $45 million for prostate cancer research since 1996. 2 quick outs here for Shelby Miller as he is matching Mark Burley here this afternoon, and there's a strike on the corner to Jose Bautista. Again,
we've had enormous support over the years from the Cardinals, a number of your players. Started with Stan Musial, and now a person involved with the Arizona organization, used to be a manager at St. Louis.
Well, we appreciate the connection. Shelby Miller, a good inning, and folks need to find out about the homerunchallenge.org. Back after this. Thanks, Pat and GB. Glad to have GB back in the studio here this afternoon for the post game. And Mark Burley and Shelby Miller are indeed locked up today. Miller power pitching and Burley hitting corners, and the Cardinals haven't quite figured him out yet. He can be so tricky, and there's an off-speed pitch and a swing and a miss on Matt Carpenter.
3rd time through the order, you'd like to think that they've got him little better idea of what he's trying to do to them, and see if they can't make some more adjustments. Had base runners.
Takes a little bit off of that one. Strikeout number 5, the second time he's gotten Matt Carpenter. Saturday, June 14th, pick up a Cardinals blanket for you or your furry friend. Compliments of Nestle Purina. They're available to 25,000 pet lovers ages 16 and older. Get yours by purchasing tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Randall Grichuk is 0 for 2. Hits that ball hard to center field. Back goes, and this ball is gone. Long home run. Randall Grichuk to center field. And the Cardinals take the lead. What a bullet that was.
That's the power that Cardinals saw in spring training, and why they were very intrigued with Randall Grichuk. Former #1 draft pick of the Angels. Had 22 home runs last year at Little Rock.
And he's getting the silent treatment. And now the high fives. First career home run for Randall Grichuk.
Had 10 home runs at Memphis. Also hit .351, .941 slugging percentage against left-handed pitching. And he's got Burley in his book now. First major league home run. And is that all the support that Shelby Miller needs today?
It'll help. Again, a solo shot. Cardinals with just their 33rd home run of the season. That ball was smoked.
Dead center field, and it had plenty.
I think Oscar Taveras is as happy as Randall Grichuk is. Nice to see those two young guys together. Talking baseball. Here's the pitch.
Out away, gets a full extension. Ooh. Cut there by Holiday. Watch Grichuk one more time. Dead center field. That ball just carried and carried. And it has plenty of room covering that line over the center field wall.
We were just talking about the silent treatment the other day. We haven't seen that in a long time.
And who was it that hit the home run that we were talking about?
Taveras. 102 off the bat.
I don't think he's happy, do you?
Hard not to smile, isn't it? And a walk to Holiday. Another walk for Burley. Bit of a head scratcher for him. Not used to walking 4 batters in the same game. Cardinals have to make him pay for that. And maybe Alan Craig will. Allen 0 for 2, struck out looking, and he flew out to right field. One nothing Cardinals, top of the 5th inning. Redbirds at 31 and 31. Ground ball to short. Reyes to second for 1. And on to first to complete the double play. And the Cardinals are retired here in the 5th inning, but they strike first. First career home run. Number 15, Grichuk. collection, the World Series scorecards from 2006 and 2011. Each scorecard has its own story to it. This week on Toyota Cardinals Live pregame, Tony has been taking us through his thinking as those games were unfolding. The series concludes tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. on Cardinals Live before the Cardinals and the Blue Jays on Fox Sports Midwest. One nothing St. Louis. Shelby Miller back to work, bottom of the 5th inning. He'll face Encarnacion, Lind, and Laurie. Shelby looks sharp here today. 94, misses low. 1-0 to Encarnacion. 50 RBIs on the season for Encarnacion, second in the American League. Open stance, hands low, a lot of power.
That was pitch number 46 for Shelby Miller. And by contrast, Burley's thrown 90.
And I would think, and we guessed pitch count in the 4th inning or through 4.5, we would have guessed the other way.
The other way.
The 1-1. Curveball misses. "16 home runs in the month of May for Encarnacion." Pops this one up. Gorgeous fights the sun, out number 1. You can still see the power with these Blue Jays even when they make outs. Shelby's pitch count has been, well, it's been good every inning, Al. He hasn't had an inning over 12.
You can throw about 12 pitches an inning. You're going to have a real solid effort. You're going to go deep into a ball game. Shouldn't be in any real trouble. And with retiring the first 13 in a row, I'd say he hasn't had any trouble.
Ball 1 to Lind.
Encarnacion talking about the arm slot to Reyes as Blue Jays are baffled. You're talking to yourself when the guys out there dealing.
They're baffled, but they're still loose. It's a confident team, isn't it?
They won 6 in a row. That's what breeds confidence. This game's all about having fun. You win 6 in a row.
Reyes and Encarnacion, by the way, both from the Dominican Republic. At one point in the season, the Rays set a major league record. They had 6 starters in one game that were from the Dominican Republic. Very unusual. Misses low.
You know, the difference in the immigration policies of Canada versus the United States helps a club like this. They can have a lot more of the working visas.
Full count to Lind. Blue Jays looking for their first base runner here today. Off of Shelby Miller, and Shelby backs off and Lind backs out. Bounced out to second, his first plate appearance, and again playing deep second is Mark Ellis. 1-0 Cardinals. The 3-2. Fouled back.
Cardinals realize the economics of baseball and the market size that they were going to have to really build from within. Cardinals have invested tons of money, not only in the minor leagues here, but also their international scouting.
First base runner for the Blue Jays is a one-out walk to Adam Lynn. You mentioned the Blue Jays really have been a team that's been built with free agents. Cardinals now 26 players that they've used this season that were originally drafted by the team. That's the most in MLB. The Blue Jays, on the other hand, with just 13 of their players homegrown.
And you really look at their starting lineup, their regulars are just about all of them acquired in trades. But the Cardinals doing it the other way, doing it the old-fashioned way. You sign them, and then you develop them and reap the benefits. Shelby Miller was last May when nobody gave up a broken bat base hit to the leadoff hitter, E.Y. Jr., Eric Young Jr., and then he retired 27 Colorado Rockies in a row. I felt that day he had better stuff than a couple different no-hitters that I've seen.
Brett Lawrie at the plate. Has power. Takes a strike. Lawrie, one of 5 American League players that has not hit into a double play yet this season.
And they're just hitting your spot down in the zone, and then later on he can elevate the fastball and get the pop-up or swing and miss.
Lawrie has 3 home runs in his last 4 games. He grounds this one right side. Craig has it. You better hurry. And they get Lawrie at first base. Nice play by Alan Craig and Shelby Miller.
And at both ends. That's a routine out on grass, but on the turf here, it almost bounces over the head. John Gibbons will come out and he'll talk about the close play at first base. Ask his first base coach as he kind of ran by. Spears that, and then he flips it, and then it's a foot race. Oh, he's out.
I think he kicks it with the side of his foot. Well, it's hard to tell from that angle.
Yeah, from that angle, it looked like he missed it at first, and then.
He got it.
He's out.
Not by much, though. He did that little extra twist to make sure the foot was on the bag. Nice play by Miller. Good camera work there as well. And Alan Craig got it all started with a nice play that saved a base hit.
Yeah, you're holding that runner off, then you try to get into a defensive position. A high hop, reaches up at the last second over the shoulder and hauls it in.
Jays with a runner in scoring position. That's Adam Lynn. Juan Francisco 0 for 5 in his career against Shelby Miller at the plate. That ball is hit hard and deep to center field. Back goes Borges to the track, and he makes the play. Again up against the center field wall. Second time this afternoon. 400 feet. But just a long out again. Shelby Miller gets out of the 5th. Borges another nice play. 1-0 Cardinals. Fans 16 and older will have the opportunity to bring home a piece of Busch Stadium with a unique canvas print that replicates the retired numbers mural in left field. Get your tickets for the June 13th Cardinals Nationals game at cardinals.com/promotions. This is what
one jump
Buck Martinez was talking about yesterday. You get a bungee cord, then they let you kind of hang over the edge. And he was trying to talk Adam Wainwright into doing this, and Adam said no.
And of course, Buck has done it.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No. Actually, I'm told he has done it.
Good for him.
Good thing those guys were wearing helmets.
What, 1,830 feet? That wouldn't hurt hitting the concrete, would it?
Another walk for Burley. Peralta leading off the 6th. Cardinals with another base runner. Oscar Taveras has walked twice. What's on tap brought to you by Budweiser. Jaime Garcia. Hutchinson, the big right-hander for the Blue Jays tomorrow. Coverage begins at 11:30 on Fox Sports Midwest. Had a chance, as I mentioned, Al, to see Drew Hutchinson throw his last game. Watched a couple of innings, and whew, he's nasty. He's 4-3. He'll pitch against Garcia, who's 1-0. $42,981 paid here this afternoon. Ground ball right side. Lind has it to second for one, and back to Lind to complete the double play. 3-6-3, and that helps out Mr. Burley.
Bounce out there, you throw a strike. First baseman retreats back. You got to be careful with Reyes throwing. Always had that flashy arm, not quite as flashy a defender as when he first came up with the Mets.
I always find that double play to be a hard one to execute properly, because as a first baseman you have to make sure you complete your throw, and you don't want to kind of just throw it and run at the same time, but you better get back to first in a hurry. As you mentioned, Reyes with the strong arm, so you've got to throw it, you have to finish your throw, focus on that throw, but then immediately retreat back with your eyes on second base and find the bag. The good ones make it look easy, but it's not.
Yeah, and it's play like that really shows and demonstrates why it's preferable to have a left-handed throwing first baseman.
Good point. And if he's got a beard, even better. Fly ball to center. Ellis retired. Adam Lind helping out Burley. Cardinals baseball. Father's Day coming up. You can treat your dad to Cardinals game with the new Papa Packs. Yep, that's what I said. Papa Packs. They're 3-game packs, and they feature some of 2014's best games and promo giveaways, including matchups with the Red Sox, Dodgers, Cubs, and more. And they all start at just $78 for the Papa Packs. Go to Cardinals.com/Papa. Shelby Miller has been nearly perfect, facing Navarro, Gose, and Reyes in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-4-0 St. Louis, 0-0-0 Toronto. Fly ball center field. Borges has been busy. That is his 5th outfield put out, and twice he's gone up against the center field wall to help out Shelby Miller. Well, you really hear the crack of the bat here, don't you?
Yes, you do.
I would say opposite of Olympic Stadium in Montreal, and we spent years there, where the noise was very limited. Didn't even sound like a baseball game there.
No, and you could hear conversation in the stands, but you couldn't hear anything really on the field. And I always had that hum of the air conditioners.
Right. Or big crane in center field. Blue Jays, by the way, Al, played 2 exhibition games in Olympic Stadium against the Mets as part of the way north. Swing and a miss, and trying to keep excitement going about the old Expos franchise. They had a number of the former players back there. And
I remember one year, I don't know if it was 93, but one of the strike years, they were leading major leagues in attendance.
No, 94, they had a very good team.
That had been the year, and there was a strike year.
Sure was. 2-1 to Anthony Gose. He's hitting in the 9th spot. We saw him hit a triple here last night. Late swing there. Comes up empty. Got on base 3 times yesterday.
See the good fastball just kind of explodes. He can get away with fastballs up in the zone with that late movement.
1 out for Miller here in the 6th. Gose grounds it to the right side. Ellis has it on 2 hops and throws out the speedy center fielder for out number 2. We promised earlier in the game that we would have an AT&T fan photo of the game, and here it is. You can tweet your photos to STL Fan Photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Top of the order, and Jose Reyes. First pitch low for a ball. Reyes had a big night last night. 3 for 3 with 2 walks. He's 0 for 2 today. 2 outs in the Blue Jays' 6th. Shelby has been strong. Seems like he's thrown more changeups here today, and the curveball's been good. Really a pretty good assortment for Shelby.
And you know, sometimes it's just having like Tony Cruz catch you a different time. He'll call a different sequence, and you know, things just kind of connect.
The 2-0. 3-0.
It might be just one of those pitches where Shelby throwing it in the bullpen, and all of a sudden Tony goes, boy, that's a good pitch. I'm going to call that a lot today, and kind of gives the confidence to the pitcher.
Reyes taking all the way. Occasional power for Reyes. He's hit 3. More noted for his speed. Hard hit to right field, and it's going to drop in front of Oscar Taveras, and the Blue Jays have their first hit with 2 outs in the 6th inning.
one's going to complain about the scoring on that one. Just a solid base hit out there. You'd rather give up a no-hitter like this with a hard hit ball rather than a squibber or a chink hit. There's a legitimate hit, and now you can retire Cabrera and come in with and throw a one-hit shutout.
Good thing that Taveras was able to get that ball on the high bounce too. Blue Jays broadcasters telling us that in a day game it is decidedly different. Much more bounce. Players who are not used to this field often will have balls bounce over their head after playing a day game after a night game because they're not expecting it. Taveras didn't crowd that ball too much. Ground ball right side off of Allen Craig and into shallow right field. Reyes running. So is Cabrera. And they're going to hold Reyes at third, and Shelby Miller, standing right next to the catcher Tony Cruz, cuts it off. That's going to be a double for Cabrera, but just perfectly placed on the right side of the infield off the glove of Craig.
Well, Allen Craig hustling on the ball, but it would have been better off if he did not touch this ball. If he didn't touch it, it's going to be first and third. But since he deflected it, you see Ellis hustle after it, and that allows it to become a double. Reyes was going to go to third either way. And Mike Matheny now wants to settle down Shelby Miller, tell him to bear down. You're pitching a great ball game. Don't let it get away from you right here like it did in Kansas City. It's Ilsley. Once again, Derek Lilliquist not with the ball club this weekend. His daughter's graduating in Florida, and so he will rejoin the ball club in St. Petersburg for the Tampa Bay Rays. Not Devil Rays anymore, right?
Just the Rays. That's right.
Politically correct. Too many Devils were complaining.
Devil has been ousted. You're not complaining about Allen Craig trying to stop that ball. You're just saying it would have been better.
Yeah, I mean, how do you tell a guy not to make a great effort at it? But would have been better off if he missed it.
Understood. Bautista. Strike one, and you wonder.
This is the ball game.
If this is the ball game, and you wonder if Ilsley said anything about being careful with Bautista.
With first base open.
First base open, but you've got Encarnacion next, and he's not easy either.
I always feel just go after the hitter. If you fall behind him, then you can make that determination. And strike one's the best pitch.
Shelby still throwing hard. That pitch at 96. Sam Freeman, the left-hander, getting loose for St. Louis.
Sam's done a real nice job helping out.
Swing and a miss. Good old-fashioned hard ball. David Bell, the assistant hitting coach to John Mabry, showing his versatility working out in the bullpen today.
I thought that was David when I saw that shot, but
hard not to like David Bell. Really enjoy him. 1-2 the count. Big pitch here. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Shelby Miller blows it by Bautista. That's how the 6th inning ends. Nothing but zeros for Shelby. 1-0 St. Louis. Welcome back to Toronto. Our Mazda game summary. The Cardinals and the Blue Jays. St. Louis has scored the only run in this game. That came in the 5th inning. Randall Grichuk, first career home run. Shelby Miller did not give up a hit until the 6th inning, where he gave up 2 Blue Jays hits, but still got out of the inning. Mark Burley, control issues today with 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. He's still working with 101 pitches going into the 7th inning. Peter Borges, first ball hitting, fouls it off. Borges, Tony Cruz, and Matt Carpenter. How about the finish to that inning? Shelby Miller and Jose Bautista. That was fun to watch.
Shelby a little excited after the strikeout pitch.
So was the catcher.
A lot of emotion right there, and said that could have been the ball game, and he passed that test.
More tests to follow, however,
yes,
as we've got just 6 innings in the book.
And remember, this very reminiscent of his last start in Kansas City, where he was outstanding for 6 innings, and then it got away from him, and the Cardinals took a loss.
But that rough inning that Shelby had happened to come in the 7th inning, where they got a couple of hits, got something going, and then he just couldn't stop it.
Right.
The fact that he was able to stop things there in that inning, I think, is pretty impressive. Hard hit to center, and this ball is going to drop. And with the high bounce, Borges thinking about second, but the wide turn, and he retreats. 2 hits in the game for Borges.
You know, and that happened to Garcia in Kansas City, where he didn't go nearly as far as Shelby, but he went 4 innings of good baseball. They're kind of the ball up in the zone. Burley's been up an awful lot, and very uncharacteristic. 5 walks. Came into this action with just 20 walks and 81 plus innings.
So now we deal with the move you talked about with Burley, the speed of Borges, and the arm of Navarro, which has been suspect. That's the game going on right now, with Tony Cruz at the plate. Cardinals leading by a run. You want more. How do you get it? You hit and run. Do you bunt? Do you steal? Tony 0 for 1. He walked in the 3rd inning.
Players a little more difficult to bunt on the artificial surface. Francisco, the 3rd baseman, way in.
Cruz checking a long time for that signal, wasn't he? From Oquendo. He's bunting again. He bunts it to first perfectly. Lind tags Cruz. 1 out. Successful sacrifice puts Borges at second base.
Talk about not easy to bunt on artificial surface. Normally you want to deaden the ball, but this, see the ball comes off his bat, and you see that good angle. Has the bat way out in fair territory, has that good angle. You have to have the bat in front, or if it's not out in front of the plate, it's going to be a foul ball.
I like the way he bent his knees too.
Yeah,
now.
you have the knees bent. Usually I like to have the barrel just slightly higher than the handle.
And there's a crowd of baseball fans that hate bunts that are saying right now, why not let Borges steal second, then bunt him to 3rd?
Well, that's great, but part of our Toyota keys is, Burley is so good. 96 pickoffs. So good at, stopping the running game. Burley also, talk about being consistent, extended a streak of 10 plus wins, 30 plus starts, and 200 plus innings to 13 seasons. That represents the longest active streak in the majors.
Outfield fairly shallow for Carpenter. Ground ball, fouled at the plate. Cabrera's got a good arm in left. He has 5 outfield assists. Batista in right has 6.
You see the 10 wins. Carlton, Spahn, Todd Burtley.
HOF, 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 HOF. All but Cott and Burley, right?
And many people think Cott should be there with 280 wins. Burley right now 196 wins. 10 wins this season.
Ground ball right side. Lynn a little bit of trouble with it, but he beats Carpenter to the bag. Borges advances to third. Action in the Blue Jays bullpen. Aaron Loop, the left-hander, now being asked to sit down.
Yeah, they probably got up when they had the leadoff hit in the 7th here, but now with 2 outs.
Chad Jenkins, the right-hander.
Grichuk. The reason why the Cardinals had the 1-run lead is the first major league home run by Randall.
Trying for number 2 right there.
Not very big, but Cardinals noticed in spring training that he has good power.
4-2 on Grichuk. 5th inning. Our Nissan drive of the game came off the bat of Randall Grichuk.
Anybody that can hit 2 home runs off of Brian Eversberg and coach pitch spring training, you know they got power.
And we just saw it. Did you see that happen in spring training?
No.
Oh, but Gertie told you about it.
I read about it.
Even better.
But Gertie was very proud of it. And when you're a coach,
supposed to hit
you
bats.
do, yeah. You get pride in hitting batters bat.
Borges bluffing down the line, trying to speed up Burley a little bit.
I don't think anything really upsets Mark Burley.
Burley doesn't go to hitters meetings, doesn't watch video, doesn't care. He does care, but he said, I'm just going to do what I do. Put down a finger and I'll throw it. And that was the right one. Breaking ball down and in. Strikes out Grichuk. Strong 7 innings for Burley. Time to stretch in Toronto. Plenty to see and do here in Toronto. Shelby Miller back for the bottom of the 7th inning. A very good ball game here this afternoon. 1-0 St. Louis. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 5-2. Errorless game. Miller has been terrific. Fouled back.
78 pitches for Shelby. Very economical. Walked one, allowed 2 hits. The walk came in the 5th. The 2 hits were back to back in the 6th. So very important to get this first hitter out.
Ground ball left side. Carpenter to his left. Off balance. Throws out Encarnacion, who's now 0 for 3. Very dangerous part of the order. Bautista 0 for 3. Encarnacion now 0 for 3. Brings in Adam Lynn. Walked in the 5th. The only walk that Shelby has issued here this afternoon. Fly ball to left. Out number 2. Budweiser Bash Fridays feature prizes and a current or former Cardinals player. Friday, June 13th. It'll be Kyle McClellan. He'll be there to sign autographs. We're beginning at 5:30. The first 200 people in the Budweiser Bash line next to Gate 5 will be guaranteed a Kyle McClellan autograph. For information and tickets, visit cardinals.com/promotions. Deep left center field. Back to the track, and Grichuk makes the play. 3 long, loud outs today. 7 zeros now for Shelby. Baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. Let's go to Pat Paris. Something tells me he has a Bommarito sports update. Pat? Thanks, Pat, for the update. Looking forward to the post-game show. And we have a new pitcher for the Blue Jays. He's a left-hander, and he gets an out with 1 pitch as Reyes throws out Matt Holliday, and he is Aaron Loop. And he is on a 15 1/3 scoreless inning streak out of the Blue Jays bullpen. One of 2 left-handers. We saw Brett Cecil here last night. He's the other. And he's our Chevy call to the bullpen. 26-year-old left-hander. Pitched at Tulane University. And he's been in the Blue Jays bullpen for the last 3 years. A workhorse a year ago, 64 games. And a very, very good ERA of 2.47. Bit of a sidewinder, isn't he, Al?
Yeah. Drop down there a little bit. Maybe these right-handed batters get a little better look at him.
Line drive to right. This is over the head of Bautista and to the wall. Craig rounds first. Strong arm in right. Strong throw, but not in time. A one-out double for Alan Craig, his first hit of the afternoon.
Very impressive, though. And talk about that strong arm. It's Craig always hustling everything, but coming out here and did he come in initially? Or just kind of lost it for a minute, but over his head recovers quickly, and see how quickly he gets that strong throw back into the infield.
Ball was hit hard, wasn't it?
Yeah. See, that's when you drop down sidearm and you keep the ball away. That right-handed batter really sees the release point. Nothing to obscure it, and he gets a pretty good read on the release, and nice stroke out to right. Burley threw 118 pitches, and Miller, I think, is at 81. Going to pass Peralta.
Interesting, with 3 right-handers to lead off the top of the 8th inning, that John Gibbons would go to his left-hander Aaron Loop, excuse me, and as you mentioned, you'd think he'd be really nasty on lefties, but again, he's gone nearly 16 innings without giving up a run, one of his hot pitchers, so they bring him in for Mark Burley, who, by the way, walked 5 batters today, but a good performance again for him. His ERA went down again. Just 1 run in 7 innings of work, 5 hits, and 6 strikeouts. So an intentional walk to Peralta puts 2 Cardinals aboard for Taveras. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Taveras has walked twice and bounced into a double play against Burley. And a chance to widen the Cardinal lead here in the top of the 8th inning. First pitch to Taveras is inside for a ball at 91.
I looked up on Burley to see if those 5 walks would be a career high. They're not. One time, May 11th, 2003, he walked 6 as a starter.
You had
rarity.
You had to think he was getting close, right?
Yeah. Came in with 20 total walks. And he walked 5 in this game.
And Burley had only allowed, Al, 2 home runs all season long, and they were to 2 Red Sox. And Randall Grichuk's home run, the difference in this game right now. One and one. Ground ball right side, base hit Taveras. Craig is going to be held at third because of this arm.
Bautista had not even picked up the ball yet, and Oquendo had held up the runner at third base, Alan Craig, and rightfully so. He was really, what, 15, 20 feet past the cutout of the infield grass. So you see, hold him up. So he's already held up, and he picks up the ball. Good to see a base hit from Taveras against a lefty.
Absolutely.
Hit by 344 against him at Memphis against left-handed pitching.
Ellis Foul ball.
Boy.
So close.
And some of the freak injuries that Alan Craig has had. I just missed hitting an ankle by a split second. Take your lead in foul territory for a reason, don't you?
Craig, Peralta, Taveras, the runners. And the pitch to Ellis. Must have been outside.
Always take your lead in foul territory. That ball hits you when you're in foul territory. You just have an ouchie, but you're still a base runner. Hit you in fair territory, you're out.
1-1. 2-1.
I'd like to lose a no-hitter like that. Hit a runner.
Never did like that rule, Al. That scoring rule.
And the batter gets an automatic hit, the base runner out.
3-1, and Loop looks like he's having trouble throwing strikes here. I'd be tempted to take this pitch. No place to put Mark Ellis.
Left-handed batters are batting 171 against him. Right-handers 158. But those numbers don't look like today's pitcher.
And it's ball 4. And Luke walks in a run, and the Cardinals lead 2-0.
That was his 10th RBI in the Cardinals. They're still threatening.
2 walks in the inning, one of them intentional. Craig trots home. And now Peter Borges to face Loop. Will he be taking a strike? Not this time.
Yeah, you see a swing like that, and you can't say that was the pitch you're looking for, looking to drive. So
swung and missed on the changeup. Takes the fastball in. Behind 0-2 to Loop. Cardinals would like more. And a called third strike on the inside corner. Borges is caught looking. Strikeout victim for the second time today. He's also gotten a couple of hits for the Cardinals, but couldn't come through here. Perfect pitch.
see if Tony Cruz can't help his own cause.
Single tallies are nice, Al, but you'd like to get greedy, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
He gave us one. Take some more. Just missed.
The numbers with runners in scoring position. Tony was very good in that area last season.
Up the middle, base hit, Tony Cruz. Peralta scores. Here comes Taveras. Play at the plate. He's safe. And the Cardinals now lead 4-0 as Tony Cruz delivers here in the 8th.
2 RBIs, total up to 6 now. He takes second on the throw. And once that ball came in from the center fielder, it hit the mound. that just guarantees that there is no chance to throw out the second runner at the plate. But solid hit right up the middle. Tavares is the runner at second base. And when this throw, see the throw, low trajectory, and hits that mound, takes a high bounce up. And then with nobody at second, Tony Cruz was able to take that base and get himself into scoring position.
John Givens goes back to his bullpen again. Way to go, Tony Cruz. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly, and by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. Beautiful architecture here in Toronto. That's the Ontario Legislature building. Cardinals building a lead here in the 8th inning. Tony Cruz, 2-out base hit to center field, chased Aaron Loop. Steve Delabar, the right-hander, relieves him.
And we brought in the lefty for the right-handed batters to take him out for a righty to face a left-hander.
Thinking the same thing.
But I'll give you the reason why. Delabar has kept left-handed batters to a 129 average, 4 for 31. Righties 250. 0-3, but you look at that, and opponents are only batting 203 against him. So you know, to get a high ERA, there's got to be some home runs, there's got to be walks, and you look at his numbers, walks have been a problem for him.
Facing Matt Carpenter. Chance for more here for the Cardinals. Carpenter has 21 RBIs on the season. 4-0 St. Louis. Grichuk homered in the 5th. That was run number 1. 3 more here in the 8th. And there's Brett Laurie again in shallow right field against Carpenter. Three and 1. Delabar, 30-year-old right-hander, came up with Seattle last couple of years with Toronto, part of their bullpen. 55 games a year ago. Navarro pointing to his head, telling him to think. And that loads the bases.
Third walk in this inning.
Grichuk bounced out, popped out, homered, struck out. Takes a fastball in, that almost hit him. Delabar having a hard time, as you mentioned, out throwing strikes here. 8 hits for the Cardinals.
Walked 29 and 58 innings a year ago. This year, Delabar has walked 14 and 22 innings.
6'5", 218. Good live arm.
Originally signed with San Diego. Never got to the big leagues with the National League club.
Four 0 St. Louis. Trying to even the series here this afternoon. The pitch. It's a little bit low. Cardinals have already had a bases loaded walk producing an RBI. That was Mark Ellis. One pitch away from another. And the fans won't like it here. They booed the last time. The 3-1. And they boo again. Bases loaded. Walk for Grichuk, his second RBI. That scores Ellis, and it's 5-0 St. Louis. Game starting to get away from the Blue Jays a little bit here.
It's been quite a while since the Cardinals have batted around.
Isn't it interesting, Al, to watch Mark Burley work today? And we would not say he was great. He made some pitches up in the zone and walked a lot of hitters, but still at the end of it, 1 run in 7 innings.
Yeah,
finds a way to escape. So
absolutely.
The relievers come in and they're a little sloppy, but the Cardinals capitalize against these guys. Isn't it amazing how that works?
Yep. I was anxious to see Burley, and I'd say he wasn't at his best, but the definition of keeping your team in a game, giving them a chance to win, he was absolutely right there.
Agreed. Holiday hitting for the second time in the inning. Comes up empty. Big swing there. 0-2. Holiday bounced out to lead this inning off. Then Alan Craig doubled over Batista's head. Intentional walk to Peralta. Base hit for Taveras. A walk producing a run to Mark Ellis. Tony Cruz, the big hit in the inning. 2-run single. That ball is hit the center field, but it's going to be playable. Holiday flies out. Our BJC difference maker, Tony Cruz. Big RBI base hit with 2 outs. High fives in the Cardinals dugout. Cardinals 5, Blue Jays nothing. The Redbirds have left 10. That young lady keeping up on her reading, and tomorrow she may be reading about Shelby Miller, who's had a terrific afternoon so far. He's got the strikeouts when he's needed them. Just has 3 here today, but he's been very, very good, very economical with his pitches, Al. Just 81 pitches through 7.
Nothing to complain about it whatsoever. He retired the first 13 in a row, then he walked a batter. Wasn't until 2 outs in the 6th before he gave up his first 2 hits, and that's all he's given up.
7, 8, and 9. Sam Freeman throwing again for the Cardinals. Change up. Miller's got it. And he lobs to first, and Francisco is retired. Pretty good reaction there.
Yeah, field your own position. Gonna go and be an infielder.
Takes a hit away from Francisco. So when you think about this game this afternoon, if I would have told you, Al, that at least through the first 7 innings, 7.5 innings of the game, the Cardinals will be out homering the Blue Jays, and Burley would be throwing a lot of pitches and walking 5 batters, and Miller would have barely 80 pitches working in the 8th inning. I think you might be surprised by all of that. You wouldn't predict all that. Let's put it that way.
Wouldn't predict it. We all know that Shelby has the ability to really shut down a ball club, but been on a 3-game losing streak. The season has been one of streaks. Starting out the season, he lost his first 2 decisions, then he won 6 straight, and now he's lost 3 straight. But the way he's pitching today, he's going to change that. Hopefully he'll start a long winning streak.
Blue Jays have a streak going. 18 out of their last 21 games they've won. And another streaking team in the wrong direction. The Cardinals will be playing in the next series coming up, Tampa Bay. They did win yesterday after losing 9 straight. But that's a team, and as we talk about baseball, you can guess what might happen, but you still have to get it done on the field. And I mean, it really is unpredictable. One of the things you love about the game. You get good pitching on any given day.
You know, most other sports, the best team is going to win. But here, the game of baseball, it's you can run into a hot pitcher and he can stop a hot hitting team. You just never know. It's a team sport, but relies so heavily on individual accomplishments.
Deoner Navarro. Cruz sets up inside, and the cutter is inside. Dead foul back 2-2. Navarro's 0 for 2. Again, I like the fact that Miller here today, Al, with just 3 strikeouts, has gotten them at kind of key times, especially the strikeout of Batista. Let's just say I think he's reared back a bit with a little extra when he's needed.
Yeah, especially the Batista bat with 2 men on.
There's another strikeout. Navarro doesn't believe it.
And looked wide, so did he. I mean, it's hard to tell. It didn't look like he came around, and the ball obviously was well off the strike zone, but Shelby will take his 4th strikeout right there.
You bet. 2 outs for the Jays. Think about these Jays team as Anthony Gose swings through that. Some of the names in their history, the guys that have played here. Mike Matheny caught here in 1999. Spent 1 year with the Blue Jays, and some of the guys that pitched here at the time. How about Roy Halladay, Pat Henkin, Chris Carpenter, David Wells? Pretty good staff, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Had 57 games that year. He's kidding yesterday with media were asking him about those days, and he said, you know, the bench was really comfortable. Really got to see a lot of great pitchers. Warmed him up in the bullpen.
Part of the learning experience, though, becoming a
Absolutely.
manager around guys like that. Think about some of the great players that have played here beyond those we just mentioned. They had Roger Clemens at one point here in Toronto. Jesse Barfield was such a good player here. Tony Fernandez, George Bell, Joe Carter we talked about yesterday. Dave Steve, a terrific pitcher. And speaking of terrific pitching, Shelby Miller has been outstanding here today. Another strikeout. On to the ninth. A lot of good Cardinal news so far. 5-0 St. Louis. They have left 10 runners on base. And really plenty of contributions from a lot of different places here this afternoon, including Alan Craig, who doubled and later scored in the 8th inning. Part of a 4-run Cardinal 8th against the Blue Jays bullpen, which now gives way to Todd Redmond, third reliever for the day.
16th appearance. You see he's .341. He's 0-4. Does have one save. Right-handed batters are .295 against him. Lefties .346.
He is our Chevy call to the bullpen. Redmond was a starter a year ago for the Blue Jays. Made 14 starts. Averaged a strikeout an inning, and trying to find a home in the bullpen here. Ground ball deep in the hole, backhanded underneath the glove of Reyes and into left field. Would have been a tough play for Reyes. We know how good his arm is. I wouldn't have bet against him. And we'll see how that gets scored. And they're calling it an error on Reyes. I can't really quibble with that.
The 6th and the 32nd of the year for the Blue Jays.
I'm going to turn over a new leaf, Al. I'm not going to complain about official scoring for at least, let's say
3 pitches.
Let's say 72 hours. I'll go 72 hours without it.
I can't go that long.
I'm just trying. But I do agree with that one. That was an error. Should have made that play. And Cardinals chance to add on here in the 9th inning. Don't stop. Keep scoring. Peralta walked twice and has doubled. He scored as well in that 8th inning. Cardinals will have Jaime Garcia. The final game of this 3-game series tomorrow afternoon on Fox Sports Midwest.
Redmond, who is born in St. Petersburg, Florida. That's our next stop after Toronto, and resides there at the former spring training site of the Cardinals.
We can bring stuff there for him if he wants.
But yeah, we can take stuff. Somehow, this guy's pitched all around the Central Division in the National League. Originally selected by the Pirates, traded to the Braves, traded to Cincinnati, then with Baltimore, and now Toronto.
Swing and a miss, strikes out Johnny Peralta. And Redmond will now face Oscar Taveras. His hit, an important hit in that Cardinal 8th inning. Nice to have a little breathing room too, Al, as well. You think about the Cardinal bullpen issues, and I think they're still getting worked out. But when's the last time the Cardinals have gone into the 8th, 9th inning with a 5-run lead? Just has a different feel to it, doesn't it?
It sure does. And you know what helps some of those guys down the bullpen is to have a kind of a low pressure outing to kind of work on some things, or at least get their mind straight. But it looks like Mike Matheny's going to give Shelby Miller a chance to finish what he started, and then maybe with the 5-run lead you can let him finish it.
All for that. Cardinals, as we mentioned earlier, 31-31. What we could add to that is this late into the season, and we still have 100 games left, but the Cardinals have not been under 500 after the 7th of June since 2007. That was a year that the Cardinals did finish under 500.
That the last time?
I
I mean, to
so.
have you do all this homework.
Well, that's what we're here for.
But I mean, the Cardinals been on quite a run.
They sure have. The 2-2. Foul back. Last time the Cardinals finished under 500 was 2007. Fastball high. They were 78-84 that season under Tony La Russa and came in 3rd place. Team had a 4th place finish the next year, but the run has been amazing since. Swing and a miss. Wow, that was a big swing. And a good fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Redmond.
Old-fashioned hard ball.
Cardinals' best years of the millennium were 2004, 2005. Also under Tony La Russa, they won 105 games in 04.
That was a good team.
Best team, perhaps.
The triple MVPs.
100 wins the following year. There's a strike to Ellis.
I really like that 04 team, and had everything going for them until they got matched up against the Red Sox, and that crazy first game. I think if the Cardinals would have won that game, they might have swept Boston.
Shallow center. There may be a collision, but Ghost calls off Cabrera. Cardinals are retired. Miller out for the ninth. Miller. 8 solid innings, just 2 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. Low pitch count for him. Mark Burley allowing Randal Grichuk's first career home run. That came in the 5th inning and gave the Cardinals the lead, and they have not looked back yet. 5-0 St. Louis, and Shelby out for the bottom of the 9th.
Will it be one of these times where Mike Matheny will let him go until he allows a base runner? Neshek is thrown in the Cardinal bullpen.
Top of the order for Toronto, Jose Reyes, 1 for 3. Broke up the no-hitter going here this afternoon in the 6th inning. Hits that ball hard, center field. On the move is Peter Borges again. Very busy afternoon for him. And an out for Shelby Miller in the Cardinals.
Shelby's done a good job of, when they've hit the ball well, it's been to center field. If you're pulling those pitches down the line, he would have given up a couple home runs, but keeping it in the big part of the field, he's got the shutout intact. If the Cardinals get this shutout, it'd be their 11th already this year. They've also been shut out themselves 6 times.
And it would be the 2nd of Shelby Miller's career.
His first one was that game where he retired 27 in a row after a leadoff base hit against Colorado last May 10th.
2 outs away is Shelby Miller here in the 9th inning. Adam Wainwright has 2 shutouts. Lance Lynn 1, and Melky Cabrera's not going to let Shelby Miller get this easily. Base hit up the middle.
He's got 2 of the 3 hits off of Shelby, but Cardinals haven't turned a double play today. Be a perfect time for their first one. It's also the luxury with the 5-run lead. You know, you don't have to be so quick to the bullpen. You can allow Shelby a little bit of rope trying to get the first play behind him at first. He's to 0 for 3. Remember, he came up back in the 6th inning with the first 2 base hits. This game struck him out. He said that was the ball game right there.
Key moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Breaking pitch is low. He really reached back in that particular at bat too. That was fun. That, to me, that was, you know, it's fun to watch Grichuk get a home run, the Cardinals to break out in the 8th inning. But that battle between Bautista and Shelby Miller in the 6th inning, to me, was the most tense, important part of this game.
And really, what was good after that is he retired 7 batters in a row before they hit by Cabrera to bring us to this point. With Alan Craig playing behind and 1 out here, double play would end this ball game. I don't understand why Cabrera not going to get that bigger lead and take off, stay out of the force out. It's like Bautista is going to try and tie it with 1 swing. Now Rosenthal starts throwing, could become a save situation.
Bautista leads the American League with 49 walks. Line drive to left, handled by Grichuk. Didn't seem to be interested in walking in that at bat.
Nope. Hit that one extremely hard, but Shelby's got the luck on his side, right at Grichuk, the left fielder.
104 pitches for Shelby Miller. Highest pitch total so far this season. 1 out away from shutting out the Blue Jays. Popped up on the infield. Who wants it? Matt Carpenter squeezes it, and Shelby Miller has shut out the Toronto Blue Jays. The outstanding offense, the power, the win streak, but Shelby Miller looks past it and picks up victory number 7, snapping his 3-game losing streak.
Our Budweiser player of the game is Shelby Miller, as he gets his first shutout this year, his second in his career, and you really have to admire him. In a pitching matchup, it favored the 10-1 Burley over a guy that's got 3 losses in a row. Shelby Miller answered it, and he did it in outstanding fashion.
Outstanding game here this afternoon. 2 hours 37 minutes. The theme